Hello everybody, this is Blender Illustrator and I am back with the second episode of my live modeling a scattergun. So when we left off last time, I had just started working on the sights on this scattergun, and I realized that this triangle right here in the reference image isn't actually a perfect up. It's gone again. Oh no. How do I bring it back? I don't know how to bring it back. Well, there it is. Alright, cool. I was about to say, trust me, you're gonna have to trust me. But right here, it has a little indent, and it's a little flat on the top, so it's not actually a perfect triangle. So what I'm gonna do is hit the backslash on my number pad, and I am going to edit this. I'm gonna hit tab to go in edit mode, do Control R, and what Control R does is it lets you make a cut somewhere on your model. And I'm gonna make a cut right around there. And also, after you click one time with the purple line, you can drag it to wherever you want to make the cut. So I'm going to make it there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this edge right here, I'm going to select that, and I'm going to move it in a little bit, maybe move it down, probably not, just move it out a little bit. And I'm going to make another cut right there, and I'm going to select this edge up here, this edge up here. Actually, there are two edges up here, because when we combined the two edges to make a triangle, we didn't connect the edges. So what I'm going to have to do is select both of them. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hit B, and it'll bring up a little selection square. I'm going to select both of them. Move it down a little bit, and that is basically what the front side of the scattergun looks like. So I'm going to hit tab again, hit the slash on my number pad. I'm going to scale this up a little bit, move it in a little bit, move it up a little bit. Yep, move it up a little bit. And that looks pretty good. Now I got to make the back sight of my scattergun. So what that's going to look like is two L's kind of parallel to each other, and that'll be a pretty good sight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn in a cube, and I'm going to hit the backslash on my number pad, and I'm going to scale it down 0.1, so that's a tenth of the original size of the cube. Now I'm going to scale it on the y-axis 3, so that'll be 3 times as long as the original cube. And I'm going to create a new cube on top of this, scale it down the same amount, and I'm going to drag it on the y-axis exactly 0.2 Blender units. So how you do that? Well, let me tell you. You type in 0.2 while you're holding down the arrow. And I'm also going to drag it along the x-axis 0.2. So now I'm going to select both of those little pieces of a half a sight. I'm going to hit Shift D, it's going to duplicate it. Here it is. But I'm going to right click to make it in the exact same spot, but I'm going to rotate it on the y-axis 180 degrees. So that I'll flip the image, and I'll be able to move it out to right around, I don't know, there. And that'll be the front of the sight. But I'm also going to have to select all of these and rotate it on the z-axis 180 because it's flipped when you hit the slash. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise it up, scale it down, hit 7, hit 5 on my number pad, and I'm going to move it into the center there, move it down to right around here, move it here, hit 3, move it down a little bit, yeah, maybe scale it on the z-axis. Also, if you don't have a number pad and you're feeling kind of bad because you don't have a number pad, you can go down here to view, and you can select all the things that I've been doing with my number pad. So you can go left, you can go into orthographic mode, all without using a number pad right there. So now, actually, I wonder what it would look like if you actually were to look down the sights of this scattergun. That'd be kind of interesting. You can do shift and then hold down the middle mouse button, and it'll just let you pan around. I thought that was kind of cool. I found that out. How would I want to look? I would want to look like that. Alright, that looks pretty cool. And then you just line it up and then hit the target. Boom! I don't know. Do something like that. So now the next part of our scattergun is going to be the bottom part right here. This little stock. And so how we're going to make that? Well, we're going to do Shift A and we're going to select the cube. And we're going to zoom in on it with the backslash on the number pad. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it down on the z-axis a little bit until it's as fat as I want it to be, so about that fat. And I'm going to scale it on the y-axis until it's pretty long, that's what she said. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to create a cut right around here. So as you can see right here, it's a little slanted, kind of like a trapezoid almost. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up until it's right around there, and then that'll look like what the stock looks like. But wait, there's more, because the stock isn't actually that pointy, cubish. We're going to make it smooth. So the way we're going to do that, we're going to go over to the right, and there's this little wrench icon, and lets us add modifier. So we're going to add a subdivision surface. So that'll just smooth it all out. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to hit A, and then A again, and it'll select every single face on the model. And we're going to hit subdivide, and I'm going to subdivide it. I think that was 5 times. That should be enough. And so now I'm going to add the modifier to subdivision surface. And it is going to, I'm going to set it to 3 on the view and the render. So now if I were to untab, you can see it's a lot smoother than it used to be. And so now I'm going to get out of that backslash, knowing the number pad, and I'm going to bring it down. Apparently I did it the wrong way, so I'm going to rotate it on the z-axis. Z-axis 150. 180, 150 wouldn't be a complete rotation, or a complete half rotation. And I'm going to scale it up until it's, I don't know, I'll look on the top, hit wireframe, and then until it's just about where I want it. So that should be good. But as you can see, if I get out of wireframe, this doesn't actually line up. Well, I mean, it doesn't line up here, but that's easy to fix. But it doesn't line up with the magazine of the scattergun. So the way we're going to fix that is hit the number pad slash. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the entire back side of the stock. So I'm going to hit A to deselect all of the faces. I'm going to hit 5 and 1. And it's going to bring me around to the front, apparently. That's not where I want to be. I want to be in the back. So I'm going to do Control 1 on my number pad. And it'll bring me around to the back. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go back into no orthographic. I'm going to hit B, and I'm going to bring up the little selection square, and I'm going to select every single face in the back. And I'm going to make sure I didn't select anything else. I probably didn't, because that would be pretty hard to do. And I'm going to hit slash again, and then I'm going to drag it so it's kind of inside of the magazine. Cool. So now that we are done with this little, I don't think it's a butt, it's a stock. We are going to need to make the hole in the side of the scattergun where the bullet's going. Excuse me. Might have a cold, I don't know. Drink some water. Oh my god. Ugh. So, you can't see the hole on the scattergun here, but trust me, it's there. It's just on the other side. Because, you know, I play TF2, I would know this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate around to the other side, or it doesn't really matter, I guess, whatever you want to do. And I am going to make a hole on the side of the scattergun. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but trust me, I'll do it. So I'm going to make another cylinder, so Shift A and cylinder. And now I'm going to scale the cylinder on the y-axis a little bit until it looks like that, and I'm going to scale it on the z, or I'm going to rotate it on the y-axis 180 degrees. Or I'm not. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Actually, probably 80 degrees. Not even 80 degrees, probably 50 degrees. And I'm going to drag this thing, this monstrosity, over until it looks about right on my scattergun. So I guess I'll just go in the back, so Control 1. And let's see, right around there should be good. Now I'm going to just bring it down a little bit. And now, as you see, I have a little slot for my bullets to go into. But you see, I don't know about this slot. This slot is a little, I don't know, do bullets fit? The bullets don't fit in that slot. That slot's going to have to be a cube. So I'm going to redo everything I just did, except with the cube. I'm going to rotate it on the y-axis 50 degrees. And I'm going to scale it a little on the y-axis. I'm going to scale it down. I'm going to do Control 1, get onto the side, orthographic mode, and I'm just going to move it in until it's round. That looks good. I'm also going to go on 3, and it's going to let me move it there. So now that we have it extruding a little bit, we're going to have to make it a hole. So I'm going to hit tab, I'm going to click on this face, I'm going to extrude it by hitting E, and then I'm going to scale it down to about there. I'm going to also extrude it again, but I'm going to move it inwards. And that should be good. So basically the slot is closed right now because of this little magazine is full, because that's how it is. Trust me. And now, let's see, what else do we have to do? We have to do this back portion right here. Do I want to do that? You know what, we'll do that today. So what I'm going to do, I have another image here of the scattergun, except this is a top view. And it's also a drawing, but it doesn't matter. It's a good image. So I'm going to drag and drop this here. Doesn't look like anything just happened right there. And really, nothing happened. But if I go into orthographic mode and I hit 3, or 1, or 3, or enable background images, so you hit N and background images is one of those little check mark boxes you can check. Let's see, is it actually there? It's not there. Where did my picture go? Whatever, I'll drag it in again. There it is. So now, as you can see, there's a little picture behind my scattergun. I'm going to N again to hide that. So if I were to just zoom in on that lamp, you can see there's just an image. So, what do I want to make? I think I am going to make the trigger and the trigger guard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn in a plane right here. It's going to actually, I don't know where this plane is. That plane's all the way up here. Alright, well I'm going to hit N and I'm going to set the coordinates of that plane down to 0, 0, 0. And I'm also going to rotate the plane on the y-axis 90 degrees. So it kind of looks like a piece of paper now. And it's kind of like a piece of paper because we're going to be tracing out the trigger onto this plane. So what you're going to want to do is hit tab to go in edit mode and subdivide it. It's a little too much subdividing. That's about right. Yeah, alright, one more subdivide. That's fine. What is this? April, no. Let's see. I'm going to have to select all the faces now that I don't want. So if I were to go into wireframe mode, so hit Z, you can see that you can see the image through it, which is kind of nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to delete these faces because they will have no impact on the tracing. I'm also going to select all the faces above that area because it won't have an impact on the tracing. I'm going to select all of them on the side here and delete them. And I'm hitting X and then selecting faces in case you don't know what I'm doing there. I'm going to delete all of these over here, and I'm going to just kind of maneuver my way around and select all the faces that we don't need because they aren't going to impact my tracing. I'm going to leave a few just in case I need them, but I probably won't need them. I'm also going to delete all of these squares on the inside. God. Oh, man. I'm going to delete all the cubes on the insides of the area so I can make them have a hole in them later. Delete these over here. And that looks sad. Delete these and delete these. Alright. So now the way we're going to trace this. So you can see if I hit Z, it's a little... It looks like a pixel version of the trigger and trigger guard. But we want to make this look realistic, so we're going to make it smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit edge or vertice select. So the first time we're using this, I'm going to go back into wireframe mode. So hit Z, and I'm going to move each and every one of these vertices to line up with this line, and it'll make the trigger. So I'm going to hit G, and that'll let me grab the vertice and move it wherever I want. And I'm just going to line this up. It's going to take a little bit. I don't know how long it will take, but it'll take some time to do. Oh, I just realized something. I kind of messed up. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. And I'm also going to do it for the other side as well. So I can do all this, maybe make this a little smoother. I'm just going to leave this top because we can deal with that hole right there later when we're making the trigger. I'm going to go over here and set this vertex here because there actually isn't a plane in between those, and now I'll make it super weird if there's just a hole. What just happened there? If there's just a hole in the trigger guard. So we don't want it to be dented. We want this to look factory new. Alright, so now to delete all the extra faces I didn't use. That face I did use. And I think those 2, 3 right there are the only ones I didn't use. I'm going to add this vertex right there. So now as you can see, if I go out of wireframe, it actually kind of looks like a trigger guard. But you see, it's not perfect. You can kind of see some of the lines that we didn't curve correctly. They don't line up. So we're going to do that by using edge selection, and we're going to select all the edges that aren't perfect. So this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, actually maybe not, this one, why not? This one for sure, this one, yeah, this one, this one, this one, or maybe not that one doesn't need it. And yeah, that's just about it, and I'm going to click subdivide. Now I'm going to move all these new vertices into the proper position to make it a little bit more curvy. Make it look nicer, you know? Well, you don't know. Need another edge select there, but we can do that after I'm done. Alright, so now that I've done all that, I'm going to do the final few that I still need to do on. So there, and I didn't do that one. Okay, whatever. I'm going to subdivide these again, and I am going to edit them, and this shouldn't take too long. Alright, actually I have a few more right here and right here. They're kind of pestering me. I'm going to subdivide those twice, so I have 3 times the number of vertices that I'd have normally. And boom, and boom, and boom, and boom, and boom, and boom, and boom. I'm also going to select this edge right here, subdivide that. This is just like my perfectionist needs. You don't have to make yours as perfect. It doesn't matter though. Kind of matters to me. Also, as you can see, there's a face over here. I don't know how this face got here. We're gonna have... Oh, what? What the heck? This face isn't... I don't know how that works. I want to select the face under that face. I don't think you understand. Alright, there we go. So I'm gonna delete that face. And figure out what happened. So I need to subdivide that again. And I'm gonna just have to grab that. Alright. So I would say I still have more stuff to do right here, because perfectionism is a pain. Subdivide. This should be the last thing that I need to do. No, there's still more to do. Right here and right here. Right, just right there. And that is it. So that's all I have time for today. In the next episode, I will be finishing this trigger guard, hopefully starting the handle for the scatter gun, and, you know, finishing cutting this out, and, you know, that's just about it. So I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you later.